I'm so bored, I can't wait to get my hair done today. My hair looks like shit. I didn't put any products in my hair today. And you're probably like, it looks the same as usual. Yeah, because I need to get it done. Getting more pink, getting our roots on so I don't stare at my gray hairs anymore. You're welcome. You didn't ask for it, but you're welcome. Hello people, welcome back to another video. I know you're so excited to watch it, hopefully. So my sister's friend from across the pond, great accent, I don't, she told my sister she wanted me to film a video showing how I did my eyeshadow look for my first video, because I didn't do it on camera, so here it is. Yeah, I also decided to throw in an eyebrow tutorial because I didn't show that either, and I know a lot of people actually have asked me how I do my eyebrows, not on YouTube but in real life. People have asked me how I do my eyebrows and complimented me on them. So yeah, that's what this video is. Hope you like it. Keep watching. Okay, so you can probably see I have pretty full coverage foundation on today. I'm wearing the Huda Beauty, in Custard 220N. I just recently got that foundation because my acne has been so bad lately, and they're like big, ugly, red and irritated ones, so I wanted something much more full coverage, so I grabbed it during the Sephora Rouge sale. Haha, dog. Going to the bedroom. Yeah. Yeah. Alrighty then. Okay, so first video, I didn't show how I do my brows or how I did the eyeshadow because it would have been super long, so I'm just going to show basically how I typically do my brows and then the eyeshadow look that I had in that first video. So I'm gonna try, like my little Muppets Miss Piggy mirror from Ciate, London. So cute. I think I'm going to zoom you in so you can see what I'm doing, and I'll show you one brow and then I'll do the other one off camera. Oh, so close. Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna do this brow. So I think that's pretty good and centered. Usually I brush it up first, so that I can kind of see where I need a little more filling in and where my hairs look alright. Even still, I think it just helps me see the, I like to start my brows from the bottom first, so brushing it up helps me see kind of that line underneath where I'm going to put the shade. This Tarte brow powder, it's the Amazonian Clay Volumizing Brow Powder in Black Brown. This has been on sale at Tarte for forever, like super cheap. I think it's like $8 or something. I'll put on the screen how much it costs because I can't remember off the top of my head. But I really like it. I think they only have one shade though, so it only works for people with darker hair or who want darker eyebrows. And then I'm using this little pure brush that it's called the Brow Sculpt and Groom brush. I think this was also on sale recently. I just take my brush and I tap it like once or twice, and then I tap it off because this brush picks up a lot of pigment, so I don't want to go in like too heavy, but I do like a pretty like defined line in the bottom of my brow. Okay, so I start right here. I just kind of gently pull it out just to get that kind of starter line. And I never start at the front of my brow. I think that's a mistake a lot of people make, is starting with the front, and then you wherever you put your brush down first is where you're gonna get the most color. Like you can see here, I got the most color right here where I put it, and then it kind of fades as I go along that way. So I don't ever start with my front of my brow because I like it to be lighter in the front and more defined at the end. So I'll keep doing that. I really just want to firm up that lower line of my brow all the way out to the tail. Make sure to tap it off. And then I kind of, oops, probably can't see me. And I kind of fill it up, fill fill it in moving up the brow. And then with what's left on my brush after doing that, I'll just kind of do the top line of my brow. I don't like the top to be quite as defined as I like the bottom. I think it you can probably see it because we're so zoomed in. I have a lot of hairs up here that I don't really include in my fill-in of my brow. I think it just helps it look a little more natural. Not that I'm going for the most natural brow look, but I think it blends it in better so it doesn't look like a Sharpie brow. Tap one more time and just kind of go through parts that need a little extra, like right here it's a little bit lighter. So kind of fill that in a little bit. It helps to kind of switch between the spoolie and the brush to make sure you get like a really complete look. And then whatever's left on my brush, I don't dip it in again. I go ahead and do the front of my brow. You can see there's still some powder on it, but it's not like a ton of powder. So I do that way, and then I do upward strokes like this, not adding anything else to the brush. And then I kind of blend it in to the rest of my eyebrow. So that's how I like to do my eyebrows. I like them to be a lot lighter in the front and more filled in at the back. Yeah, that's my process. Okay, so I'll do the other brow off camera and then I'll show you, I put a brow gel in and then we'll move on to eyeshadow. Okay, so I finished my other brow off camera. My brows don't match, so I don't try and make them match. I go with what is there. People have complimented me on my brows before, so I know they don't look horrifyingly bad. And people don't, like, people are so worried about having their brows be exactly identical all the time. People don't notice. People don't notice if one eyebrow is a little longer than the other, goes up a little higher, because naturally people's brows do that. I always go like this with my eyebrows when I'm talking to people. I don't know why, so they're not gonna notice anyway because I'm making weird faces all the time. So that's my piece of advice. I don't spend hours. No one spends hours. I don't spend like 20 minutes on my brows. I do them quickly. I put the powder through them, or sometimes I'll use a pencil. Powder's usually my preference. Too close to my face. And then I'll throw a brow gel on top and call it a day. I mean, it's not that serious. Oh, and I just zoomed out, and you should zoom back in so you can see. We'll do this eyebrow again. So I've been using the Makiage brow gel in espresso. Hypnotize fill-in brow shaper. It's a brow gel. I don't know why they have a weird name. I got it at BoxyCharm and I didn't think I would like it, but it's been my favorite, one of my favorite brow gels lately. I also love the Essence one that's like $3 or $4. It's super cheap. So if you want a cheap one, that one's also wonderful. So same thing that I do with the brow powder, I do with the brow gel. I start kind of at the midway point because I don't want the majority of the goop on the brush getting at the front of the brow, and then I just kind of lightly do the front as well. And I don't push down when I'm doing this. I'm barely a whisper of touching my eyebrow hairs, because if you push down too hard, you're gonna get like a mess. I would show you as an example, but I got places to go today. I'm getting my hair done. I don't look like a crazy person. Oh, now that I say that, I shouldn't have put brow gel on because she's gonna dye my hair, my eyebrows. Oh well, this is how I usually do my brows, so this is what you get. So I let that sit for a second. I do one side and the other, and then I take the spoolie that's on the other side of that pure eyebrow brush, and I just go through it lightly, so there's not any like harshness, and to kind of brush up the brows so that they sit up kind of floofy like that. Let me zoom in even. Oh, that's as far as I can get. So yeah, they're a little floofy. That's how I do my brows. It's pretty quick, pretty simple. The more you practice it, the better you get at it. So yeah, that's what I do. On to eyeshadow. We will stay zoomed in. This whole video is gonna be so close to my face. Also, this highlight looks gorgeous in this light. It's the Juvia's Place highlighter volume 3. Tribe highlighter? The Tribe highlighter volume 3. It's beautiful. Okay, so when I'm doing eyeshadow, I always start with a primer. I didn't used to, but for the past like 2 years, I always start with a primer. I don't love the one I've been using. I mean, it works really well, but it's MAC, and I don't tend to support MAC because they're not cruelty free. I don't think this is vegan, but I've had it for like 5 years, and there's a ton in there. So I'm just trying to get rid of it. I don't want to waste it and throw it away because it does work well. It's a nice like cream formula that dries down, so it really does help with like longevity of eyeshadow. And I have very like dark lids and a lot of veins, so I find that having a primer with a little bit of color helps wipe that away so it doesn't like show through to the eyeshadow, because some eyeshadow primers don't have any pigment to them. I prefer ones that do. The point of it is to kind of lock in any oils that may be on your lid or want to come through later, and kind of block them from coming through and ruining your eyeshadow look. For this particular primer, and like what my preference is are primers that do that. So you can see, compare two eyes, this one looks way better. And I do apply it with a finger unless I have nails on, then I'll use a brush to apply it because I can't get my finger into the pot. But it is my preference to apply it with a finger because it kind of warms it up and it just looks more smooth and doesn't get any brush strokes or anything in it. So I apply that to both eyes. And you don't need a lot of this. I mean, I don't recommend buying it because I don't want to support MAC. So there's tons of brands that have pot primers like that. There's drugstore brands. I haven't tried a ton of them because look at, oh, just got it in my eyebrow. That was weird. Oh, it was under my fingernail. Gross. I'll spoolie it out. There we go. Try that again. That's better. Okay. I haven't tried a ton because, like I said, I'm trying to get rid of that MAC one, and I don't want to waste it. So then I'm trying to remember. I don't understand how beauty gurus like do a look and then remember exactly what they did, and it's perfectly the same. I'm pretty sure I remember what I did for this look because it was primarily one palette, the Blush Crush palette by ColourPop, and there's only really one or two looks that I do with this, and I have a decent idea of what I did, but it might be slightly different. I think it'll look close enough that you won't know the difference. The first thing I do when I'm doing eyeshadow is I take a pretty fluffy brush. This one's from SL Miss Glam. I'll put it in the description. It's a SS57 brush. I think it's so cute. It's got little like confetti in the handle, and it's like a synthetic fiber brush, but it's fluffy. You can see it's like very, very big and floofy. I take a little bit of this shade, which is called The One, and that's the shade I'm going to apply first. I'll apply it kind of a little bit in my crease and above. So I apply it like right here. It's not going to show up a ton because it's pretty similar to my skin tone, but I find that applying a shade like that really helps with blending overall. Let's apply a little bit more of that. And I'm the type of person that I do both eyes at once. I can't finish a whole eye look and then remember what I did exactly to do it correctly on the next eye. So I'll do this how I would really do it. All about truth here. All right, next I'm going to take this BK Beauty 201 brush. It's fluffy, but it's a little bit smaller. And I'm going to dip it into this shade in the middle at the bottom here called Cheek to Cheek. So this is a matte shade and it's a little bit deeper, so I think I'm going to use it to kind of deepen up the crease. Add a little bit more dimension there on top of that first color we put down. So I kind of tap down first and then just kind of move the brush back and forth over my eye. Sometimes I'll do a little like circle motions, but usually keep it simple. Tap it down and then back and forth till it looks like it's where I want it and it looks nice and blended. Sometimes I'll clean off the brush a little on a towel nearby and then just kind of blend it with that first shade. Blend it together so I don't get a harsh line. Woo, I'm moving off camera. And just like with eyebrows, you can see right now, I'm doing the eyebrow thing again. My eyes are not the exact same size or shape or position, so it's I don't care to make them look identical. It's just not gonna happen for me without way too much work and planning and thinking. So just do your best. I mean, people don't notice. There's a cute eyeshadow look is a cute eyeshadow look. And people, your two eyes are never gonna be I mean, unless you're just the most beautiful person in the world and you have perfectly identical eyes, unlike me, they're not gonna be the same. I mean, you can see nothing on my body is symmetrical. Look at my ears. It's just not gonna happen. It's not perfect. No one's perfect. So trying to get perfect eyeshadow is just silly in my book. Gonna go in and add a little bit more of that shade to both eyes, just to make sure I really get enough color that I'm looking for there. Sometimes you might see me, I'm tapping the brush off on the mirror. I don't do it every time. It's just when I'm trying to add a little bit more color without having it be like everywhere. And it can help with avoiding fallout on my face because I do my face makeup first always. I do run the risk of getting powder that falls down from the eyeshadow onto my cheeks. It doesn't bug me that much. Usually, unless I'm using like black. Doggies! Doggies! Quiet! Unless I'm using like a black or brown shade and then I'm a little bit more careful with it, but I don't know. It's not that big of a deal to me. So once that looks how I'm looking for it to appear, I finished that shade. I'll take a little bit more of a tapered brush. So this is the BK Beauty 202 brush. It's a little bit more, I'll show you both of them at the same time so you can see the difference. This is the 201, this is the 202. You can see this one's kind of flared out at the end and this one's more tapered and rounded at the end. So you can be a little bit more precise with the 202. And I'm actually going to use, this is one of those stupid shades that I hate. But I will use, it's a matte shade with a glitter in it. But there's not a lot of depth in this palette that doesn't have glitter in it, so that's what I used last time, that's what I'll use this time. So I tap my brush into it, and I do tap the brush off because I'm hoping to knock some of the glitter off because I hate that glitter. And then I'm gonna really use this, concentrate it in my outer corner to add a little bit more depth to the outer corner. And I find it's best when you're just learning eyeshadow is to tap a little bit on the brush, tap into the pan a little bit, and then apply in layers that, because if you just bang your brush in there and get all the pigment on it, and then you start and put it on your eye, it's too much, it's overwhelming, it's not gonna blend out right every time, and it just makes everything more difficult. So I'm gonna use that in the outer corner and maybe a little bit into my crease, I think is what I did last time, just a little bit. Maybe halfway across my crease. And just like a halfway across my crease here. I think that looks good. Do the other eye. Same thing, bringing it halfway across the eye, slowly building up that depth. I really like these 9-pan palettes from ColourPop. They're not all amazing, but the ones I've gotten so far I've really enjoyed. I don't like the ones with the glitters in them though. Just saying. Am I out of focus this whole time? I hope not. Okay. So then I'll kind of hold the that was stupid. Then I'll kind of hold the mirror kind of in front of me and just look and see if there's any, like this one's a lot more pointed than this one, so I'll just kind of go in and try to round them both out a little bit. A little more shadow if I need it. Just to try and make it a little more symmetrical. Like I said, it's not my biggest priority though. My biggest priority is to put pretty colors on my face. I was having camera focusing issues and then I forgot to press record. Okay, so I'll show you what I did. I was talking about how I apply shimmer shadows because that's what I did next. I use the shade Enamored, which is this one right here. Focus. Yeah, this one. And when I use shimmer shades, I use my finger because it's easier. I think it's more impactful. I just rub my finger around in the pan and then put it on my eye. The shade's already on my eye because I already recorded this, but I will show you again what I do. I just literally just tap it on and pull my finger across. And I said I wanted to keep this color like in the inner half of my eye, maybe to like 2/3 of the way across my eye. And then I'll add a little more depth in a moment. Same thing on the other eye. Put it same spot. And I did put 2 layers on, so now 3 layers. I find putting it on with the finger is a lot less of a hassle. You don't need a specific brush. You got fingers. Well, not everyone, but if you have fingers, use them. You don't have to mess with getting a brush wet or anything. I think it's great. Okay, now I'm gonna add a little bit of depth to the outer corner of my eyes, a little bit more depth just to add a little bit more dimension to the look. The shade called Blush Wine, it's another one of those stupid matte and glitter shades, but just to add a little bit of depth, I think it'll work all right. And I'm gonna use it on this BK Beauty 201 brush. It's this really short, stubby, rounded little like packer brush. I think it's really great for adding depth to the outside of your eye. So I dipped it in that shade, tapped it off a little, and then I just add a little bit of depth to deepen up this outer corner here. Do it a couple times. Same thing like I was saying, add a little bit at a time, make it a little easier to blend it all together. All right, do the other eye. All right, got that finished. And then, okay, so the light shimmery shade in this palette is a Super Shock formula, and it's like super glittery. Well, that swatch just looks beautiful, but on the eyes, it doesn't show up enough for my preference. Yeah, there you can see it. Can you even see it? It's like it's glitterally nothing. Literally. Oh my god, it's so ugly. So I'm just gonna use the highlighter I used today on my face and use that for my inner corner highlight. Okay, now here is the best tip of this whole video. This brush, I have had it for years. It's a Sigma brush. It is literally called the Inner Corner E46. It is the best inner corner brush. I've had it for years. I use it every single day that I wear makeup. It's just the most perfect, precise little brush to get some color on that inner corner. So I'll just dip it into my pan of eyeshadow highlighter here, and I just tap it right into this inner corner right here, and I'll kind of blend it in a little bit with that pink shade that we already have going so it doesn't look like a harsh thing. Wipe my brush off a little since I got pink on it. And then I'll sometimes I do this, sometimes I don't. I'll bring it a little bit along the lower lash line. Just look really bright. You can see the difference between this eye and that eye. This one just looks a little bit more open on the inside. And then I'll also use it very lightly for my brow bone highlight. For my brow bone highlight, I like to go right under my arch and just kind of back and forth. A little bit of shimmer under there just to give it a little extra lifty lift. And then I'll do the same thing to the other eye. All right, and then my final tip. When you finish an eyeshadow look, go back to that big fluffy brush or whatever fluffy brush you were using. I'm gonna use the SL Miss Glam one, and just go right along the edges. Make sure there's nothing on it, like wipe it off on a towel or whatever. Just go right along the edges, and it'll really help your look more blended and like you really know what you're doing, even if you don't. Okay, I'm gonna put mascara on. Woo! Okay. All right, so that's it. That's the whole tutorial. Okay. It's all my brows and eyeshadow from my first video I made. It's for you, Marion. Hope you enjoy it. Yeah. All right. If you have any questions about things I did, or if what I used on the rest of my face will be all in the description below. Don't forget to subscribe. Yeah. Why did I say it like that? Subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you're thinking, let me know. Comment below if you have any questions or anything like that. Share my video with anyone you think would want to know how to do what I did. Yeah, lots of that. So, goodbye. Thanks for watching. Bye.